the ancestral territory of the Meskwaki, Sauk, and Iowa peoples, whose land was initially taken from them through the encroachment of white settlers and then formally in 1845 through government land concessions. I wish to take a moment to pay respect to the Meskwaki, Sauk, and Iowa elders, both past and present, and to recognize the Meskwaki Nation that exists today in Tama County, less than 30 miles from our campus. Grinnell College offers this statement as a beginning commitment to learn more about local history and to cultivate community. Before our invocation, I've been asked to share an explanation of the flags that are displayed at today's ceremony. As you know, Grinnell College welcomes students from across this country and from our entire world with intentional inclusion in our invitations of admission to students from any country or territory. We come together on this campus in the common endeavor of teaching and learning. The flags that fly here today represent places to which our graduating seniors claim belonging through citizenship. Though we acknowledge this display does not exhaust the places our students may call or think of as home. The diversity of our student body and their decision to spend these years at Grinnell helps to transform this campus from a place that offers a welcome to the middle of Iowa into an undergraduate home that offers the warmth and inclusiveness of the middle of everywhere. We gather on this commencement day, O God, to acknowledge the accomplishments of these graduates. Those who are able to be here in Grinnell, and those graduates who are joining their classmates virtually from distant locations throughout the world. Wherever they don their tassel, they are connected in this endeavor. Today we celebrate. And we have so many reasons to celebrate the class of 2021, an extraordinary group of students who both together and apart have found ways to uniquely excel and persevere. We arrive and begin this high occasion with a feeling of gratitude as we recognize them and their achievement of this milestone. During this ceremony, I pray that they each feel honored as we pause to recognize the importance of this realized goal, the completing and receiving of their college degree. May these near alumni cherish this important time in their lives, remembering the challenges overcome, opportunities seized, the growth they experienced, and the knowledge they gained here at Grinnell. It has been a time of great importance, learning new skills, expanding existing strengths, and distinguishing passions. We also give thanks for supportive family members, those who are present and those who are here virtually or in spirit. We acknowledge friends, faculty, staff, mentors, and all who have engaged and encouraged these students in and outside of the classroom while in college. So as we begin this ceremony, we hope this will be a time of jubilation as these graduates mark the completion of this chapter of life and usher in wonderful new beginnings. Amen. Please be seated.
Family and friends, it is my privilege to present our 2021 commencement speaker, Dr. Kesho Scott. teacher, scholar, advocate, and activist. Her consistent work to fight injustice and teach others to unlearn racism serves as an inspiration to our graduates. Please welcome again Kesho Scott.
Just give me a moment. Woo, I have a lot to say, and it's cold as hell. Woo, I can tell some jokes about coldness and being black, but I won't. Now, you're supposed to laugh, right? All right, get ready to participate with me. You got that? You got your part? Are you ready? Are you ready? Somewhere over the rainbow, blue way up high, and the dreams that we dream of once in a lullaby. Now let me tell you, by a show of hands, did that get your attention? Woo, thank you, because that was my intent. I looked up the purpose of commencement address on the world-famous reference, you know, the one that starts with a W. And the commencement speaker should inspire, amuse, and instruct the members of a graduating class, certainly not bore them. So my hope is to do just that. Inspire, amuse, and instruct you through the training to my training in American Studies. I am resorting back to what I know, the cultural, spiritual, and economic symbolism in Frank Baum's 1900 classic American children's book, guess what? The Wizard of Oz. Baum was a political activist in his time in 1890. He wrote 16 books about the make-believe world of Oz. Embodied in his stories were the pros and cons of the need to maybe create a third American political party and some critiques of a U.S. populism. I appreciate Baum's ability to tap into those universal themes called hope, personal journeys, human and societal transformation, and of course, the power within. And if this is not your culture's story, I apologize in advance. All cultures have stories with universal themes, and I respect the diversity in those stories. Now, in 1987, when I had only been here a year at Grinnell, my first baccalaureate remarks unpacked The Wizard of Oz, and I focused on the challenges of those 5 main characters. 1, come on, put your finger up, 1 scared girl, 3 male misfits, 1 good witch. And most of you know the rest. My emphasis to the graduates is what sociologists call personal agency. And I remember, and I reminded them that Glinda, the good witch, told Dorothy at the end of the story, and she said it in that cute little voice, "Dear one, you have to believe in yourself." So I posed to the graduates a question: what is the personal power through education, and what will you do with it? In 1987, the world was just 2 years from the collapse of the Soviet Union, and 1 year before the Iraq War, when the US population was only 224 million and gas was only 90 cents. ATZ was launched as a treatment for HIV/AIDS. Michael Jackson sang "Bad," and Ronald Reagan was the president. What a different world, right? What a different America. In my second baccalaureate remarks 10 years later in 2017, I focused on the political and economic institutions inside of Oz. In other words, why did Dorothy What did Dorothy get herself into accidentally by killing the oppressor? You remember? She landed on the wicked witch of the East. I call it death by house, right? Because that wicked witch of the East enslaved the little people. And how did her role in their liberation unintentionally change her personal journey? I pose to the graduates another question. What challenges to your future will come as a direct result of this new world order, global world capitalism? And how will your education prepare you to meet them? In 2007, guess what? George W. Bush was the president. The war in Afghanistan and religious fanaticism was blowing up that part of the world. Regime change became a popular form of political change. China joined the G8 summit, and guess what? The iPhone that you all use was named Gadget of the Year. Gas was 38 cents a gallon, and 1 year later, in 2008, there was a worldwide economic crisis caused by deregulation in the financial industry, and guess what? Come on, say what? I didn't hear you. Nancy Pelosi was elected the first woman Speaker of the House. Applaud. Absolutely. What a different world. What a different America. In 2012, in my faculty remarks, I continued unpacking the Oz playbook. I focused on the powerful theme of home through the relationships and power dynamics, and in the text between the wizard on the one hand and Glinda on the other. And in the real world between leaders and communities. Remember, Dorothy discovered after that journey and growth on the yellow brick road that the wizard was a fake. By the way, since you may not know this, but Baum's storyline was so disappointing to many parents that many libraries banned his book up to 1957. So I pose this time 2 questions to the graduates. What do you do when with your education, when systems fail, when systems disappoint, when systems resist you? And how prepared are you to return home and stay loyal to the principles and ideals of your Grinnell education in the real world? You can clap. I love that. That would be great. Thank you. In 2012, the Eurozone was in crisis. Bin Laden was dead. The price of gas was $3.64, while Wall Street was being occupied by disappointed youth like you. The Arab Spring was contagious. The words like bullying and greenhouse gas emissions both became popular words in our families. Anti-austerity demonstrations grew all over the world, while wearing a hoodie made you a mark for a bullet. And all this happened while Barack Obama was the president of the United States. What a different world. What a different America. And here we are, 9 years later, 2021, all of us survivors of a worldwide health pandemic and national racial reckoning. And locally, I'd add, survivors of a derecho which devastated our campus and Grinnell community. In all 3 of these crises, where we were shocked, in pain, in despair, we also stood in community. We came together in new ways, in Grinnell, in America, and around the world. Let's not forget, some of us were experiencing a woke-up culture. And for others, this crisis only magnified that deep feeling of been there, done that, and we know it. And yet, either side of this contradiction, this moment for all of us, we all have to cross over. We have to cross under. We have to go around. We have to get through some very challenging and complex questions, bold questions. We have to face our denials. We have to drop the excuses. We have to create different practices. We have to reject old ideas. We have to revamp our traditions about our shared American culture. And why do we have to do that? Because the yellow brick road may not be the road to get us where we need to go. That's what Dorothy used to get home. But America will have to now build something very different. Here's my idea. I am looking for the anti-racism highway, the one that goes along Highway 80. And to be on that highway, we have to work like the Munchkins of Oz, under oppression or in liberation. Yep, we have to change ourselves to change the world. And I can tell you, being a Munchkin activist all my life, that changing Kesho has been formidable. Don't you imagine that it will be that way for you? My mentors, James and Grace Lee Boggs, taught me that in the struggle to be more human and create a more humane society, this is what will make us human. And I link Boggs' lesson to the Chinese word for crisis. It means literally the recognition of a crucial point to change things that are happening. And the second part is to endeavor. What does it mean to endeavor? It means to do something hard, even when it is hard to do. So in 2021, I posed to you, the graduates, how will you be Munchkins? How will you endeavor? And how will you use your education in that act? You see, your work ahead is to heal first your heart, open your minds, decolonize your own structures and spaces, free your own imagination. And that is powerful. That is what your education, an aspect of it, has been about. And I believe that will carry you over this rainbow that will show up in your life. This is going to happen whether you like it or not, because you're going to be Munchkins, you're going to be workers, you're going to be the creators of the next future. Many Grinnell alums who came before you already have lit the highway for you new Munchkins to tread. Let me name a few of my favorites whose stories they've told me over the years have inspired me. Robert Austin, George Moose, Irma McLaren, Sandy Stein, Stephanie Snow. Clap if you know some of these people. Stephen Beck, Aaron Wagner, Chris Newberg, Kim and David Simmons, Derek Daniels, Lisa Alexandra, Shannon Carr, Kendall Holly, Angela and Jake Amawachi Willage, Fenton Mason, Juma Bello, Lester Allman, Elena Bennell, Vincent Keiss, Marion Saxena Hatch, Jillian Kong, Emma Kangaroo Johnson, Kate DeMott Grady, David Akpan Waldy, Sam Sue, Carrie Stallings, Timmer Burnett, David Williams, Daniel Kisslinger, and other favorites, Munchkins, who came back to Grinnell to serve this college. One of my heroes, President George Drake. Andy Hamilton, Rachel Bly, Nino Parker, Eric Sanning, Alfredo Rivera, Sarah Purcell, Rachel Carvich, Daniel Cutchins, Doug Cutchins, Jane Cheney, Molly Camp, and so many others. So let me apologize in advance for my short list. It's all about the time. I've taught over 5,200 students in my 43 years, at 3 different institutions, and I've taught more than thousands in workshops and training. And I have distilled my lessons from what they've told me into an acronym which will be your last lesson. Are you ready? All righty, I knew you would be. That acronym is READ. Say that, READ. R stands for teachable. R stands for E stands for excellence. A stands for accountability. D stands for center diversity in all you do. Okay, are you ready for the test? All right, here we go. R, E, A, D. Good job. Give yourself an applause. And now I come to the best part of The Wizard of Oz, the symbolism and importance of the red ruby slippers. I'm laughing because you're supposed to laugh, and I'm laughing too. I want to say to you that I think all of you need a pair of these slippers. The fact is, when they made the movie, they made 5 pairs for Dorothy, and only one of them survived in the Smithsonian. It is reported that these red ruby slippers are the most requested cultural artifact to be seen by millions all over the world. Now, why is that? Why would you go to the Smithsonian to see red ruby slippers? Well, let me tell you, it's because of what they can do. What could they do? They gave power to whom is wearing them to travel anywhere they wish to go. And what is the significance about that power to travel? Traveling begins in the mind, and it is carried by the body. And both create the ability for you to triumph over powerful forces, real or imagined. So I am saying to you, own your education. Own it. And in many ways, in that ownership, it's like a pair of red ruby slippers. And like the good witch, Glinda, I am empowering you with those shoes as you leave the wonderful land of Oz we call Grinnell College. I want you to discover what you can do in this life. Make a fortune, adopt a child, be a master gardener. I want you to direct your inner power, paint a portrait, create a social movement, invent a cure. To learn to travel the human relationship highways, I want that for you. Using the most magical words that there are. To be able to say no without guilt and yes with confidence. And pause when you're not quite ready. And finally, to learn when it is time to veer from the script. Because every once in a while, you have to veer from the script. You know the scripts, the ones that keep you a bit too serious, forgetting that crap happens, and needing to do something that your soul longs for, regardless if you can get people to understand it or not. Follow those inner feelings. Veer from the script sometimes, because I want you to know that veering from the script is about what you can do with the privilege of education. Please use it. Do it next time. Do it the right way. So graduates, take the red ruby slippers and fly. I congratulate you. We all congratulate you. We believe in you. You look good in red. And I want you to know that you will be munchkins and step forward in a time when our world needs you to be that munchkin. And remember this, somewhere over the rainbow, and they'll be wearing red ruby slippers. Thank you.
President Harris, it is my pleasure to present those persons of high accomplishment and distinction to whom the faculty and trustees of this college wish to accord honorary degrees. I have the honor to present Kesho Scott for the honorary degree Doctor of Social Studies.
Dr. Kesho Scott has always believed the work of fighting injustice happens everywhere. It's not confined to capital cities and halls of power, but in our own lives, every day, right where we live. Dr. Scott grew up in Detroit and arrived in Grinnell as a professor in 1986. As one of the relatively few faculty of color at Grinnell during the 1980s and 1990s, she shouldered not just full course loads, but also the often unseen and underappreciated work linked to diversity, equity, and inclusion. In 1991, Scott became the first Black woman to earn tenure at Grinnell. Beyond the classroom, the scholar and activist pursued ambitious work. She wrote Tight Spaces, which won an American Book Award in 1988. An internationally recognized diversity trainer and consultant, she has led workshops and spoken to audiences around the world. She has been recognized with the Christine Wilson Medal for Equality and Justice and was inducted into the Iowa State University African American Hall of Fame in 2016.
Thank you.
In 2020, after the death of George Floyd, she stepped up to help the town of Grinnell, as well as many other small towns in Iowa, develop memorials to honor his life. She's provided training to all Grinnell public school teachers to fight racism and teach inclusion.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
For fighting injustice in both small ways and large, in all the places that she has called home, we are proud today to recognize Kesho Scott.
I have to put my pen.
Okay. Kesho Scott, on recommendation of the faculty of this college and with approval of the Board of Trustees, I admit you to the degree Doctor of Social Studies, honoris causa.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Do I go on this side? Okay. Now, this is the hard part for me. Wow. I told myself I was not going to cry. Woo, it's already started. First, I want to thank the students who nominated me. I thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I thank my colleagues, the Executive Council, who confirmed this nomination, and I want to thank the support staff of Grinnell College, for whom I could never have done my job without their support and expertise over these years. Please applaud for them. And I say that because they actually helped make this wish on my bucket list come true. I want to thank President Harris, the Board of Trustees, for admitting me to the class of 2020 21. Yes. And by the way, guess what my new favorite number will forever be? Repeat after me. 20 what? 21? 20? 21? 20? In fact, I think my next tattoo will be 2021. It is an honor for me as a faculty member who never took one Grinnell course when most of you took 40 to be acknowledged for your life's work. This gesture is deeply meaningful to me after 35 years of teaching at this marvelous and magical institution. But it has not always been easy for lots of reasons. And yes, I spent a lot of my time sharing those reasons with many Grinnell College presidents and deans. You're supposed to laugh. Creating alternative ways with others, not by myself, to impact change. But that is not the story I want to tell now. I want to give you a very personal context for why standing here is so important to me individually. I grew up a Negro girl, that's what they called you, in a racially segregated America in the 1950s, whose institutions were designed to make it difficult for a person like me to stand in this place. I grew up in a black family with many generations of divorce, abandonment, domestic violence, poverty, and the impact of America's second-class citizenship imposed on my people. I grew up inspired simultaneously by my family members as I saw them and other people of color forge racial and economic dignity for themselves, as well as fight for generations against the state-sanctioned physical violence against them and their bodies, and the intellectual violence against their cultures. My first role models were in my family, in my community, before they were on TV, before they were at the U.S. Capitol, and way before their victories were in books that I would later teach in my classrooms. So to be at this place like this, I thought actually I would have to conform, and I would not. I grew up and came of age in a time when I witnessed indigenous people leading a piercing moral and spiritual challenge to America's political and cultural hegemony, seeing poor people fight back against economic injustice, watching people around the world fight back against European colonialism and worldwide imperialism. And I grew up cheering those so-called minorities that came out of closets, fought and stood up against able-bodyism, and those who questioned the 3% of the population who own 97% of the wealth then. And we all know that that stat has changed for the worse. Raise your hand if you've heard about the 1%. I grew up fighting old gender and sexuality boxes because badass women showed me how. That's right. They knocked down the doors that I had a chance to walk through, and they believed that I should be in this place. I joined really radical social movements of the 60s and 70s, and I won't name them, which were led by young people just like you, that had many strengths and also many, many shortcomings. Because I saw these movements in my time as a way to fix a racialized democracy, as a way to make more voices be heard and give everybody a chance to stand outside of their own oppression for others and to use their privilege for good. As a cisgendered woman in her 60s, a mother of 4, a grandmother of 6, guess what? I still join social movements today. Because I believe in doing the work required of change. Did you hear how I said that? I believe in doing the work required for change wherever I find myself. I stand here today individually honored, but I recognize this honor is also proof of concurrent successes. First, my living beyond my own limitations that I was born into, and second, the success of my country's ability in 2021 to continue to correct her racial wrongs, to adjust her role in global ills, and to continue, hear that word, with grace and accountability to protect this precious blue planet. I stand here today individually honored, but I recognize this honor given by Grinnell College, located in the cornfields of Iowa, has a huge job to continue. To hold strong to her educational mission when it is not fashionable, when it is not sexy, when it is not comfortable, when it is not easy, whether it starts in a small town like Grinnell, Iowa, or it's throughout America. I am honored to stand in this place because of the labor and heart of those before me. And I am going to be a placeholder for those who will follow me. But here is the most important part. The students over these 25 years have come from all over the world and have absolutely enriched my life. You have touched every aspect of my life, and you have made me better at what I love. I love challenges. I love freedom and equality. I love my country, and I have loved my role as an educator at Grinnell College. I accept this honorary degree in that spirit. Thank you.
President Harris, I have the honor to present Simon Lamont Estes for the honorary degree Doctor of Humane Letters.
Dr. Simon Estes was 8 when he started singing in front of audiences in his tiny hometown of Centerville, Iowa. He would eventually perform in front of 6 presidents and 2 popes. In his extraordinary career as an opera singer, Dr. Estes played iconic roles and earned numerous accolades. Through it all, he never lost sight of what was important: faith, humility, and love. As a student at the University of Iowa, Estes was the first Black member of the Old Gold Singers. He went on to earn a full scholarship at Juilliard. With the support of the NAACP and the New York Trust, he auditioned for and landed his first major role, Ramfis in Aida at the Deutsche Opera in West Berlin. It was the first of many remarkable highlights during his career. It has included unforgettable performances as King Philip in Don Carlo and Wotan and Wagner's Ring Circle. He made the first ever appearance of any Black male artist at the Bayreuth Festival in West Germany in 1978, when he debuted in the title role of Wagner's The Flying Dutchman. Estes has performed for American presidents, as part of events with Billy Graham, and as part of the opening ceremonies for the Olympic Games. He has been recognized with a Grammy nomination and the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Achievement Award by Iowa Governor Terry Branstad. He is just the 13th person to earn the Iowa Award, the state's highest citizen award. Estes has found numerous ways to give back. His work has included creating scholarships around the world, for which he has helped raise millions of dollars. For his exceptional performances in philanthropy, we are proud today to recognize Dr. Simon Estes.
On the recommendation of the faculty of this college and with approval of the Board of Trustees, I hereby admit Simon Lamont Estes to the degree Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa.
Thank you, Grinnell College, for this honor. I accept it with humility and gratitude. I have something in common that I didn't know until today, that President Harris and I have something very similar. We are both citizens of the United States and Switzerland, and I just found that out today. My grandfather was a slave sold for $500. My father couldn't read or write. My mother had an 11th grade education, but my parents always stressed the importance of faith, love, and education. And I'm deeply honored to be here today in Grinnell. This is a wonderful institution founded in 1846, and thousands of students have graduated from this wonderful college and gone on to make a contribution to humanity and to the world and to better themselves. I have indeed been blessed by God, who gave me a talent to sing and a gift to love and to share and to be kind. We're put on this earth for three purposes. One is to love God with all of our heart and our soul and our mind and our strength, to love our neighbor as we love ourselves, and prepare to go spend eternity with our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. I'm so honored to be able to say that I have traveled on every continent on this planet Earth. And I've come to realize and accept that there's truly only one race. It is the human race. And when God formed Adam, he formed him out of the dust of the earth. And he wasn't alive until God breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. But the Bible doesn't mention any color of Adam. He was a human being. And it's wonderful to see all of you young people here today. It's rather chilly, but you're brave to accept this wonderful honor of having graduated from this great institution. I wish all of you God's blessings, love one another, care for one another, share with one another, and help one another. We need a lot of we need a lot of love in this world today. And you can go forward and make an incredible difference. So I wish all of you, again, good luck, but most of all, I wish you love. And I thank all of you and this institution for this wonderful honor. May God bless all of you. Thank you.
Due to COVID-19 health precautions, the following honorary degrees will be given in absentia. The recipients' responses will be posted on the college website following the ceremony. President Harris, I have the honor to present Mardele S. Early for the honorary degree Doctor of Social Studies.
Mardele Early knows that many people will underestimate and undervalue her students over their lifetimes, but she never will. As the CEO and founder of Lake Forest Elementary Charter School, a kindergarten through 8th grade school in New Orleans, Early demands that her students pursue their education with ambition, and she has built a school with the structures to ensure they can do just that. From the moment they enter kindergarten, students start thinking about a university education. As part of the school's annual college day, students spend time every single year researching colleges around the world they might later want to attend. Early expects that 99% of her students at her school will go on to earn a 4-year university or college degree. To prepare them to do exceptional work, all students take a learning styles inventory to understand how they learn best and how to ask for more help when they need it. Early makes sure teachers set high expectations for their students. Students must finish all of their tasks and master difficult material, even if it takes significant effort. It's an approach that works. Lake Forest is an A-rated school that has been recognized as part of the National Blue Ribbon Schools program. State tests put her students above 97% proficiency in both math and reading. For building a school that helps students envision and achieve successful outcomes for themselves, we are proud today to recognize Mardele Early.
Mardele S. Early, on the recommendation of the faculty of this college and with approval of the Board of Trustees, I admit you to the degree Doctor of Social Studies, honoris causa.
President Harris, I have the honor to present Anya Christine Grundmann for the honorary degree Doctor of Humane Letters.
If you've ever listened to a national public radio podcast, and if you're a Grinnellian, you've probably listened to an NPR podcast. You can thank Anya Grundmann, class of 1989. Grundmann is currently the Senior Vice President for Programming and Audience Development at NPR. She has built its powerhouse podcast portfolio, whose episodes are downloaded more than 150 million times a month. Under her leadership, she helped launch beloved programs, including Hidden Brain and NPR Politics. She helped make NPR Music's Tiny Desk concert series a household name. Grundmann grew up in Baltimore and earned a degree from Grinnell in English. She got her start in public radio as a programmer and music announcer as KNAU Arizona Public Radio in Flagstaff. She joined NPR in 1994. She eventually became supervising editor of the classical music program Performance Today, which won a Peabody Award. She has co-directed the National Endowment of the Arts Institute for Classical Music and Opera Writers. In her role as founding director, executive director of NPR Music, she helped develop and grow the organization's multi-platform music journalism. Its programming reaches millions of people each month across websites, social media, podcast, and radio. Over the course of her career, she has received significant praise for her work. Billboard magazine named her among the music industry's Power 100. Fast Company magazine described Grundmann's work as reinventing public radio for the post-radio generation. For helping bringing creative and beloved audio and video programming to the world, we are proud today to honor Anya Grundmann, class of 1989.
Anya Christine Grundmann, on recommendation of the faculty of this college and with approval of the Board of Trustees, I admit you to the degree Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa.
President Harris, I have the honor to present Sarah Hake for the honorary degree Doctor of Science.
Not every 18-year-old sees Grinnell's cornfields as an asset to their education, but for Sarah Hake, class of 1975, a plant biologist specializing in maize, all those acres may as well have been a playground. Inspired by courses and field trips with Grinnell biology professor Vern Durkee, Hake went on to earn a PhD in plant biology from Washington University in St. Louis. Since 1987, she has worked at the Plant Gene Expression Center as part of the Department of Agriculture. Hake's foundational discoveries and accomplishments in plant genetics are numerous. Using genetic mutants in maize, she identified genes that regulate how organs are formed and function. Hake has also been an exceptional mentor, training graduate students and postdoctoral fellows who have gone on to great success in their own careers. Over the course of her career, she has been recognized with some of the highest honors in her field, including the Jeanette Searin Pelton Award from the Botanical Society of America and the Stephen Hales Prize Award from the American Society of Plant Biology. She was elected as a member of the National Academy of Science in 2009. For her pioneering work in plant biology, We are proud today to recognize Sarah Hake.
Sarah Hake, on recommendation of the faculty of this college and with approval of the Board of Trustees, I admit you to the degree Doctor of Science, honoris causa. It is now my privilege as president to recognize members of the faculty who, after long and devoted tenure at the college, are entering upon emeritus status. I now recognize Associate Professor of Physical Education, Dave Arsenault. Yes, wonderful. When asked to explain the nationally recognized run-and-gun style of play he developed for Grinnell men's basketball team, Dave Arsenault had a simple answer. We're trying to perfect chaos. Arsenault arrived at Grinnell in 1989 and took over a traditional but struggling men's basketball team. He began implementing a fast-paced approach known as the system. The team's focus on three-point shots and frequent substitutions routinely led the team to score more than 125 points per game. The head-spinning statistics drew significant media attention, and the team and individual players set national records. Over the course of Arsenault's career, the men's team captured 5 conference championships and appeared in the postseason 11 times. Arsenault also coached an exceptionally successful women's golf team. The team earned numerous conference titles, including a 5-season run that ended in 2017. For bringing the most joyful kind of chaos to Grinnell, we are pleased to recognize David Arsenault. I now recognize Associate Professor of English and American Studies, George Barlow. On the first day of class, yes, oh, you're so generous, that's wonderful. On the first day of class for the Craft of Poetry course, George Barlow posed a question to his students. How many of you are poets? Even those who had been writing poetry for a decade or more rarely raised their hands. Barlow knew that for many students, part of the work of being a poet was internalizing the idea that they were one. He pushed them hard in his classroom, and they delivered. They amazed me, he recalls. Barlow himself was an exceptional poet and a champion of the art. One of his 2 volumes of poetry, Gumbo, was a National Poetry Series selection. He served twice as the Iowa Poet Laureate nominating committee. For his efforts to illuminate and promote exceptional poetry and art, and for helping students see that they too could be a part of this broader tradition, we are proud to honor George Barlow. I now recognize Professor of Education, Jean Ketter. Jean Ketter never sugarcoated the challenges of teaching well. She liked to describe it as doing brain surgery on 25 people all at once. But she never wanted her students to shy away from it because she knew that the impact of a great teacher could be enormous. Ketter arrived at Grinnell in 1994. She was best known for teaching differentiating instruction for all learners and youth cultures. Her research, which she often did in collaboration with Grinnell middle school English teachers, focused on making the classroom a more engaging and equitable space. Ketter served on more than 20 committees and was a mentor for the final Posse cohort on campus, whose students graduated in 2020. For her work to illuminate inequities in the classroom and to prepare a new generation of students for the challenges and opportunities within the teaching profession, we are proud to honor Jean Ketter. I now recognize Professor of Psychology, Janet Gibson. Janet Gibson may not be able to tell you why the chicken crossed the road, but she might be able to tell you why we all love a good joke. For the past several years, Gibson has trained her longstanding interests in cognitive psychology on the psychology of humor. She authored an undergraduate textbook, An Introduction to the Psychology of Humor, and her work on the topic has appeared in the Washington Post. During her 3 decades at Grinnell, she's broken barriers and pursued ambitious work. She was the first woman to receive tenure in the psychology department, and she's published 24 papers on topics linked to memory, aging, and fluency. She taught courses in both psychology and statistics. She also taught the first-year tutorial 8 times on topics ranging from chess to Star Trek. For her ambitious work in the field of cognitive psychology, we are pleased to recognize Janet Gibson. I now recognize Professor of Mathematics and Computer Science, Henry Walker. When Henry Walker arrived on Grinnell's campus nearly 50 years ago, he had the mind of a mathematician and the heart of a teacher. Over his career at Grinnell, he focused relentlessly on improving his own teaching and engaging his professional communities in both computer science and mathematics education. Walker has taught a wide range of courses in both mathematics and computer science. Alumni who went on to pursue mathematics or computer science as a career say that his belief in their abilities gave them the confidence they needed to excel. Walker published 10 books and more than 150 articles related to computer science education. In 2013, the premier international computer science education organization, SIGSE, honored him with their annual award for lifetime service. For his unstinting efforts to support students in his own classrooms and for his extensive contributions to his professional communities, we are pleased to recognize Henry Walker. I now recognize Greg Wallace, Associate Professor of Physical Education. For Greg Wallace, athletics and recreation are about more than competition and fitness. They are about human connection. As head football coach, Wallace coached the 1998 team to a perfect 10-0 season and a top finish in the Midwest Conference. He earned Midwest Conference Coach of the Year honors 3 times. He was also Grinnell's head golf coach for 15 seasons. In both of these roles, he aimed to build meaningful connections with and among his players. When he took the helm as Grinnell's Director of Athletics and Recreation in 2007, he ushered in a new era for athletics at the college. With the addition of new facilities, he prepared Grinnell to host regional and national competitions. He also strengthened the college's support for recreational athletes and community members. He added a coordinator for diversity and inclusion in athletics, which serves as a model for other institutions nationwide. For supporting the athletic goals of people at every level, we are proud to honor Greg Wallace. I now recognize Professors Laura Sinnott, Kathy Camp, and John Whitaker. It is my honor to recognize those faculty members moving to senior faculty status. Senior faculty status recognizes those members of the faculty who wish to be released from their regular full-time teaching obligations to pursue scholarly and professional activities associated with the college.
President Harris, family and friends, the Dean of the College will now present the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts.
Get my right page here. I'm getting there. Would the candidates for the Bachelor of Arts please rise? President Harris, on recommendation of the faculty of Grinnell College, I present to you these candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts. Having fulfilled all of the academic requirements, they are deemed worthy of and entitled to this degree.
As president of Grinnell College, I now recommend to the Board of Trustees, through you as one of its members, that each of these students be graduated to the degree of Bachelor of Arts.
President Harris, the charter of this institution states that the college's object shall be to promote the general interests of education and to qualify young people for the different professions and for the honorable discharge of the various duties of life. It is a pleasure for me to acknowledge that these students have not only completed a course of formal study at this institution, but have also come to know the demands and the rewards of a shared experience in learning. As such, they have indeed furthered the general interests of education and qualified themselves for the honorable discharge of the various duties of life. The Board of Trustees is therefore pleased to accept your recommendation and authorizes you as president to grant this degree.
By the authority vested in me by the trustees of Grinnell College, I now officially declare that having met all the requirements, you are today granted the degree of Bachelor of Arts and are admitted to all of the rights, privileges, and responsibilities that it confers. Congratulations. You may now be seated.
President Harris, Professor Yvette Aparicio will call the graduates in the Division of Humanities.
Will the graduates to the Bachelor of Arts degree from the Division of Humanities please come to the platform as instructed by the marshal? Okay. Okay. Lynette Mary Adams. Hassan Ali. Sakitan Anand. John Ulysses Anderson in absentia. Emily Robinson Barber. Eric Bjorn Olsen Boyce. Audrey Jean Boyle. Catherine R. Buman in absentia. Anna Caroline Bundy. Abigail Christine Burrows in absentia. Chabeli Calleja Caro. Rose Janine Kaplan. Callie Ancona Carr. Grace Victoria Clausen. Holly Nicole Clemens. Allison Ray Cottrell. Malcolm Hassan Davis in absentia. L. B. Dawson. Clara Marshall Dingle. Sophie Marie Dodamede. Kevin Joseph Ahern Donahue. Yi Lan Dong. William Breckenridge Eli Dubau. Kaylee Michelle Iden. Jacob Michael Estabrook. Shell Everson. Jackson Lane Ferguson. Zoe Rachel Fruchter. Harrison Scott Gale in absentia. Celeste Gerber in absentia. Kayla N. Gerard. Ina Jolica. Ahon Kumar Guptu. Elijah James Griffin. Claudia Carolina Handal Perez in absentia. Isabel Anna Hansen. Arthur Harris. Virginia Joyce Haverstick. Anita Elizabeth Hill in absentia. Halayla Grace Hinton Williams. Sydney Gloss Hotchkiss in absentia. Melissa Hyder. Sorry. Allison Nicole Ishtok. Anjali Brent Jan. Rick Andrew Johnson. Anna Sandra Karen. Lana Shiva Katai. Rowan Elizabeth Kemmerly. Tess Marie Kirchhoff. Okay. Catherine Nicole Kopp. Okay. Avery Owen Lewis. Howie Lee, in absentia. Shi Aoyan Liu, in absentia. Yoon Shi Liu, in absentia. Okay. Finn Lloyd. Barrett Catherine Madsen. Jessica Damaris Marquez Membreno. Una Magnolia Miller. Marnie Jean Manague. Catherine Suzanne Moody. In absentia, sorry. Kelly Marie Page. Victoria Isabel Park. Leela Rose Pear. Madeline Grace Peak. Taylor D. Powell. Paula Ren Reyes. Jacob Field Schneier, in absentia. Sophia Bernadette Schott. Molly Ann Skousen. William Connor Stanfield. William Clark Tellingater. Mercedes Varela. Sam Robin Walker, in absentia. Amanda N. Weber, in absentia. Zoe Jasmine Whittle. Oliver Parkhill Willett. Olivia Grace Woolham. Georgia Rose Young Dahl. Bao Xin Yu, in absentia. President Harris, these are the graduates from the Division of Humanities.
President Harris, Professor Leslie Lyons will call the graduates in the Division of Science.
Obachi Hope Adikama. Abna Dadi Ufari. Natasha Aguilar, in absentia. Angela M. Ala de la Cruz, in absentia. Avery Kai Simone Barnett. Seth Bartusik. Quinn Berleman Paul. Arzu Kantila Bimani. Layla Ann Bishop Paris. Jared Walker Jeremiah Booth. Govind Sartaj Brahmana Yapura. Jackson Paul Brashears. Noah Alexander Burgess. Alicia Saya J.D. Bustamante. Sophia Amelia Carbajal. Courtney Joy Carter. Lucas M. Chamberlain. Tien Chen, in absentia. Xuan Hua Chen. Yishen Chen. Yun Choi, in absentia. Kaya Elise Bindum Clark. James William Coffey. Kira Hanson Cole. Christina Verna Collins. Brianna Lynette Concepcion. Bryce Adam Cook. Paul H. Cover. Militza Tsurskota, in absentia. Maya Marie Davis. Evan Miles Dickerson. Rebecca Danielle DeVarco. Kyle Wesley Dixon Anderson. Stephanie Johanna Costa dos Santos. Inez Moreno Dufresne. Anna Claire Engelhart. Shazah Fahal. Urunima Futepu Uriya. Henry William Firestone. Jill Constance Flannery. Drayson Wayne Foyles. Caleb Eugene Forbes, in absentia. Fitsum Wukena Gayatahun. Timothy G. Gilmore. Vidush Goswami. John Anthony Cotton Gower. Dishti Goyal, in absentia. The Andrew W. Archibald Prize for Highest Scholarship is awarded at each commencement to that student or students who have attained the best record of academic achievement over the 4-year period of collegiate work. Established in 1927, the award is named for its donor, the Reverend Andrew W. Archibald, who served as a distinguished member of the college's Board of Trustees. It is my pleasure to present the Archibald Prize medalist for 2021, Vijaith Gujila. Siamala Nirujo. Adamawit Eddie Hapte. Ella Suzanne Hefner. Taria Ray Heath. Daisy M. Hernandez. Allie Hollis Hickey. Haley Dawn Hoffman. Madison Marie Howe. Junmian Hua, in absentia. Stefan Illich. Isabella Eve Burnett Jacobson. Paul Sung-Ming Jian, in absentia. The Andrew W. Archibald Prize for Highest Scholarship is awarded at each commencement to those students who have attained the best record of academic achievement over the 4-year period of collegiate work. Established in 1927, the award is named for its donor, the Reverend Andrew W. Archibald, who served as a distinguished member of the college's Board of Trustees. It is my pleasure to present the Archibald Prize medalist for 2021, David Jin, in absentia. Flynn Mary Johnson. Haruka Kaikioka. Marco Adrian Kamamura. Alexandra Lata Kam. Saluso Carbo. George Jerome Caslow. Quat Ming Zhang. Erin Audrey Kim. Haesun Kim in absentia. Sa-gyung Kim in absentia. Cecily Kobasri Didzi. Hannes Joseph Kogulnik. Samina Koirala. Olivia Sophie Koznichny. Kaylee Amy Kuhn. Anushka Kulration. Jessica Waters Kunzman. Reta Kuri. Kate Elizabeth Kwasniewski. Håkan Gunnar Larson. Claire Marie Larson. Clara. Min An Lei. Dinqua Tra Lan. Somyoung Lee. Abigail Elizabeth Leonard. Shin Ming Lee. Ishen Lee. Liam Christian Leiden. Serena Gastel Lincoln. Zutui Liu in absentia. Xiaoyu Liu in absentia. Robert Miles Lorch. Azari Beecher Lorig in absentia. Anye Lukosheve Shuta in absentia. Kushing Cindy Lua. Wai Lua. Alexander David McDonald. Abby Elizabeth Mank, in absentia. Arya Maan. Carter Lewis Markegard. Raymond Jerome Martinez. Gabriel Jean Massini, in absentia. Mitchell John Rudy McCloskey. Arthurine Rose Medeiros. Lucas J. Mendel. Benjamin Peter McKeck. Ezekiel Moses Miller. Luke M. Mohan. Felipe Monteforte Fajera. Chris C. Mosman. Jordan Morris, in absentia. Marley Victoria Mullen. Samuel Michael Nike. Puravi Nath. Molly Rose Nelson, in absentia. Tra Quang Nguyen. Abigail Jane Nielsen. Randy Alberto Nieto. Prajata Narula, in absentia. Maho Nozaki, in absentia. Dongjin Matthew Park. Gyan Priyaga. Alyssa Renee Radukovich. Tal Rostopchin, in absentia. Haley McLean Reynolds. Allison Mason Risser. Ruby Romero. The Andrew W. Archibald Prize for Highest Scholarship is awarded at each commencement to those students who have attained the best record of academic achievement over the 4-year period of collegiate work. Established in 1927, the award is named for its donor, the Reverend Andrew W. Archibald, who served as a distinguished member of the college's Board of Trustees. It is my pleasure to present the Archibald Prize medalist for 2021, Samuel Reiter. Eduardo Ruiz. Clinton John Saba, in absentia. Ryu, is this Ryu? Ryu Sakaguchi, in absentia. Erica Nicole Satchel. Okay. Erin Regal Scherl, in absentia. Maurice Schildoffer, in absentia. Elizabeth Marshall Schwiebert. Kaltun Alenam Kwame Segbefia. Mitchell Colson Sevier. Priyunk Shah. Reina Takada Shahai. Eli Benjamin Shapiro. Stephen Allen Lyons Sharp. Claire Huewa Simpson. Julia Natalia Slonuski. Chase Thomas Snodgrass. Rachel Jane Snodgrass. Midori Elizabeth Soderberg. Claire Sponheim. Cassandra Rose Stibe, in absentia. The Andrew W. Archibald Prize for Highest Scholarship is awarded at each commencement to those students who have attained the best record of academic achievement over the 4-year period of collegiate work. Established in 1927, the award is named for its donor, the Reverend Andrew W. Archibald, who served as a distinguished member of the college's Board of Trustees. It is my pleasure to present the Archibald Prize medalist for 2021, Jacob Henry Steenis. Anne Katrina Steensma. Daniel Moore Strauss, in absentia. Haruri Sun, in absentia. Alexander Ezekiel Taylor. Hannah Claire Taylor. Coleman Karan Thompson. E. Elisha Tabatemwa. Chuan, in absentia. Grace Sui. Andrew J. Tucker. Aichin Tung, in absentia. Sharon Apara, in absentia. Anna Vasanina. Rebecca Vila. Anmai T. Vu. Mai Buang Vu. Claire Isabel Kroner Warrenfeld. Brock Austin Wererather. Sarah M.N. Welts. Hannah Elizabeth Wilkins. Jiayi Chloe Wu in absentia. Jiaqing Wu in absentia. Dingjae Jia in absentia. Jiandong Jia in absentia. Jasper Burnett Yang. Chengxi Ya. Ziwat Chao in absentia. Yi Young Zhu. President Harris, these are the graduates from the Division of Science.
Oh dear. Oh dear, lost my place in the script. President Harris. Lost my place in the script. I'm so sorry. My fingers are so cold I can't even turn the pages. Oh.
We are hardy.
Oh. Thank you. Yes, President Harris, I know this. Professor Carla Erickson will call the graduates in the Division of Social Studies.
Will the graduates to the Bachelor of Arts degree from the Division of Social Studies please come to the platform as instructed by the Marshal? Mohammed Ali Admer. Hunain Ali in absentia. Isabel Claire Ambrosoli. Gabriela Sofia Aponte. Winifred Allison Sheffield Austin. Maxim T. Bakhvarov in absentia. Logan Christopher Balmer. Martha Glenn Bellevue. Sophia Seppi Byrne. Dylan J. Bondi in absentia. Henry Beckett Brannon in absentia. Oscar Charles Buchanan. Sarah Castro. Devansh Changotia. Ryan Ethan Jong. Justin Eric Chen. Naomi Arden Clayton. Elizabeth Lauren Collinger. Jake Ryan Combs. Michael Conlin Brandenburg. Elena Sophia Kopel. Thomas Larson Colwell. Mary Eileen DeVega. Marguerite Devine Merez. Reese Michael Downey. Maya Drew. Rachel Helen Ebert. Marcos Luis Fernandez Montana, in absentia. Morgan Lee Franklin, in absentia. Abigail Arlene Ferrerick. Bradley Michael Guyman. Andrew Neathaller George. Anna Jaleka. Melton Gochelba. Tyler James Grumhouse, in absentia. Riley Rufino Gueb. Abigail Frances Hansen. Connor McCann Hedrick. Thomas Henry Henahan. Arturo Hernandez Ramirez, in absentia. Thomas Jonathan Hexter. Sale Huda. Elizabeth Blackburn Hunt. Brendan Michael Early Hyatt. Kuber Jen. Amelia Iris Johnson Post. Declan Henry Jones. Derek Coben Jones. Nathaniel Kittredge Jordan. Shrirash Prajal Kadayala. Shanna Kang. Celeste Marie Casper. Esme Ray Kayam Yanko. Cara Elizabeth Kelleher, in absentia. Dawson Wyatt Keller. Ready? Yeah. Vivian Miranda Curley de la Cruz. Cooper Hamilton King. Maya Charlene Kuzunoki Martin. McKinley Rain Larson. Alexander P. Laverly. Nathan Benjamin Liu. Daniel Lubelfeld. Alec Yuya Hasabi Maloney. Creed Elizabeth McClellan. Stephen Robert McDowell. Quentin Thomas McNitt. Nicole Mendez Subieta. Alexander Grant Mickus. Lauren Hennessy Miller. Ryan McCormick Moeller. Jacob Harris Malho. Rafael Monteforte Ferreira. Danielle Oberlander. Young Suk O in absentia. Packard Reddit Otto in absentia. Ethan Burdett Panell. Gilberto Angel Perez. Nicholas Michael Pero. Ezra H. Pine. Georgia Corrine Rawhauser Milet. The President's Medal is awarded annually at each commencement to the senior who exemplifies the ideals of Grinnell College. Superior scholarship, demonstrated leadership that credits both the student and the college. Compassionate and sensitive behavior and individual responsibility are among the qualities that must be demonstrated. It is my pleasure to present the President's Medal for 2021 to Cynthia Jacqueline Romo Alba. Esme Genevieve Rummelhart. Hitomi Sauto in absentia. Batya Deborah Peckler Sellis in absentia. Natan Tosha Mendel Skolnick in absentia. Travis Austin Sluffer in absentia. Catherine Burrich Smith. Michael Andreevich Spicer. Zachary Michael Stice. Heather Jung Suh. Seth Parker Taylor. Peony Teo. Ishan Tibrival. Hunter Thomas Treschel. Arish Albert Vale. Alden Bo Putra Wasano, in absentia. Jack Lawrenson Watkins, in absentia. Sarah Ann Weinberg. Malia Deanne Wells, in absentia. Yeah, got it. In absentia. Sorry, everyone. Okay. Elizabeth Martha Nesbitt Rusford. Justin Thomas Williams. Chloe Lynn Ray. Millie Yining Yang. Iris Amelia Zernig. President Harris, these are the graduates from the Division of Social Studies.
President Harris, Dean Elaine Marsluff will call the graduates to the Bachelor of Arts degree with independent and interdivisional majors.
Will the graduates to the Bachelor of Arts degree with independent and interdivisional majors please come to the platform as instructed by the marshal? Maya Adachi. Elise Bartels Bargman. Zama Shegne Butelezi and absentia. Dylan Frank Pesic Kane and absentia. Montserrat Castro Gomez. Sungyang Mi Sun Chong. Antonix Davis. Ren Elizabeth Free. Zenzo Tucker Nakasawa Haddock. Emma Talia Heikkinen. Sarah LaShawn Marie Houston. Evan Christopher Hurst. Nicholas Sterling Raphaelson. Samantha Lee Stagg. Catherine Elizabeth Stender. Veronica Eleanor Thomas. Elliot Wesselberg in absentia. President Harris, these are the graduates with independent and interdivisional majors. President Harris, I wish at this time to recognize the graduates and current students who have been accepted into the Teacher Education Licensure Program, leading to Iowa Teaching Certification. Would these students please stand as I call their names and remain standing until I have completed the list? Maxim T. Bakvarov. Callie Ancona Carr. Sungyoung Misum Chong. Kaylee Michelle Iden. Momiji Fukushima. Nell Hatch. Ryan McCormick Moeller. Nicholas Michael Perro. Paula Penne Reyes. Claire M. Spanheim. Mercedes Varela. Zoe Jasmine Whittle. Please be seated.
Will the graduates to the degree of Bachelor of Arts please rise?
We are in the fullness of our joy in your graduation. We will very soon be in the fullness of warmth. You are so hearty and generous all along. It is my honor to congratulate all of you here today as we end our time holding this space with you to mark your commencement into the world as graduates of Grinnell College, to recognize and celebrate all that you have accomplished through the hard work and dedication you demonstrated in your pursuit of knowledge and through your remarkable persistence and spirit of hope in the future you've inspired. In this most memorable year, you discovered new ways of learning and connecting with each other and with your communities. When crisis piled upon crisis, when injustice, racism, and violence once again scarred the pledges of American democracy, you responded and took action. You organized your communities, you educated others and yourselves, you participated in demonstrations, you formed coalitions, and you worked to change systems. The artist and activist Fabiana Rodriguez asserts community and collective power through art. One of her works features a statement that speaks volumes to me. We lead by caring about each other. That's a powerful message. Let's be clear. Caring about each other is not an easy or neutral thing to do. Caring about each other is not just being nice. To lead by caring about each other is intentional work. It requires self-reflection, the willingness to look at ourselves with honest and open minds, and ultimately the ability to work together to change structures and practices that diminish or threaten human dignity. I am proud to be a part of this community with you. This community, of which you will continue to be such an important part, thrives on the dynamic between individuality and community, on the simultaneity of our being both constituents and caretakers of Grinnell College. This has always been an essential part of the Grinnell experience, and it's an experience that will continue long after your time as a Grinnell student draws to an end in about 2 minutes. In some ways, it's only now, as you take the lessons and experiences you learned over the past years as a student into a world facing immense and daunting challenges, that your Grinnell experience truly begins. In April of 2020, Indian author and political activist Arundhati Roy published a now much-quoted essay entitled "The Pandemic is a Portal." Whatever it is, she wrote, coronavirus has made the mighty kneel and brought the world to a halt like nothing else could. Our minds are still racing back and forth, longing for a return to normality, trying to stitch our future to our past and refusing to acknowledge the rupture. But the rupture exists. And in the midst of this terrible despair, it offers us a chance to rethink the doomsday machine we have built for ourselves. Nothing could be worse than a return to normality. Historically, pandemics have forced humans to break with the past and imagine their world anew. This one is no different. It is a portal, she writes, a gateway between one world and the next. The world we knew is gone. The world ahead of us is yet to be discovered, or more accurately, created. We understand that now when we say move forward or go forth Grinnellian, we are talking about going into the unknown in a very real and practical sense. So, consider what you will leave behind at the threshold of the old world and what you will carry forward as you create a new one. Consider what you've learned about yourself, your culture, your identity as a citizen of your country and the world. Consider the institutions that have served us well as a society and those which have not and must be changed for an ever more just common good. I encourage you as you move forward to do so with care, courage, and confidence, to perpetually greet the unknown with curiosity, to do so through love, the kind that sustains resolve, to do so in community and coalition, to move forward prepared to use all that you have learned in your time here. You are ready. You are up for the challenges, whatever they may be. One of the formative truths of my life was spoken by American philosopher and educational reformer John Dewey. Democracy is born anew with every generation, and education is its midwife. The unfulfilled, Kesho Scott. She just said yes, and that grounds it for me. The unfulfilled promise of democracy we see today is more than ever in your hands. To hold it, know that you will need each other. You will need to continue to foster and grow multiracial, multicultural, diverse communities of thinkers and learners in order to create a multiracial, multicultural democracy, to finally bring meaning to the phrase with liberty and justice for all. And so to conclude, and to the warmth of celebration. For the past several years, the president of Grinnell College has given its graduates a book of significance, a text that matters. This year, I gifted to you the publication of The Hill We Climb, the poem read by American Youth Poet Laureate Amanda Gorman at the inauguration of President Joe Biden in January of this year. I will leave you with a short excerpt from that remarkable poem. And all my hope for you and this world. But while democracy can be periodically delayed, it can never be permanently defeated. In this truth, in this faith, we trust. For while we have our eyes on the future, history has its eyes on us. This is the era of just redemption we feared at its inception. We did not feel prepared to be the heirs of such a terrifying hour, but within it we found the power to author a new chapter, to offer hope and laughter to ourselves. Such powerful, powerful words. I can only add, go forth, Grinnellian. Thank you.
At the end of this ceremony, gracious God, we offer thanksgiving for having this time to honor these students, now alumni. We look to their futures with great hope, knowing the difference that each has made in our community and aware of their potential to make a difference in other communities throughout our world. As they go forth, may each one live with safety, be treated equitably, have abundant strength, and the courage to choose for justice in all things, including integrity in their work, compassion in their outreach, and commitment in their service to the common good. May they each experience the privilege and the gift of living life authentically, and may they have the ability and the courage to do so. We pray for safety in travel, and for health for these graduates, their families and friends on this day and in the days to come. May they each fondly remember their Grinnell years and rely on the powerful connections that have been made to continue strengthening these relationships for years to come. I pray that peace and warmth be upon us all. Amen.